Okay, we'll go ahead and call this Urban Renewal Agency meeting to order. It is Wednesday, June 5th, time is 6 p.m. Set agenda for approval. Urban Renewal Agency minutes dated February 7th, 2024. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to look over the minutes. Not very long. I make a motion to approve the minutes. Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve the draft minutes. Councilor Sunday. Aye. Councilor Hubbard. Aye. And I'm an aye as well. Okay, open public hearing for the fiscal year 2024-2025 URA budget adoption. I open it up for public comment now.
Yes.
So, concern. Originally, the waterfront development was supposed to be paid for with urban renewal dollars. Now, we don't have money in the urban renewal to pay the whole, $18 million. My question is, you probably will answer the question, I'm not understanding where the money's coming from. Urban renewal is typically hated by a lot of people for exactly the reason that you find yourself in. They get established and then something disappears or something happens and it's not able to repay the loans that they've taken out. It's happened more than once in this county already. And while this $3 million disbursements with contingencies on top of that is obviously there's not enough money to pay for the waterfront development. And so the question is, where's that money gonna come from? And my understanding is it's coming from community development. And I don't see how we have a $15 million plus fund in community development. So I don't know, I guess I'll talk about that when you adopt your other budget as well. I don't understand where it's coming from. And I talked to a couple of members on the budget committee. They can't explain it either. It would be nice if somebody could explain exactly how the waterfront is being funded, since it's no longer coming out of Earth. Thanks.
Other comments? Do you have anybody on Zoom?
Nobody.
Hey, I just know that we have enough to service the debt through the increments of taxation in our urban renewal.
Maybe to help clarify.
Yes.
The city in the community development fund is where the project is being accounted for currently.
Yes.
And we receive loan dollars from the state.
Yeah.
And that pays for the construction. We're also receiving grants. And there's a portion of SDCs that qualify for that project, especially park SDCs.
Yes.
And so that's the city's contribution is accumulated park SDCs. And then once the loan closes, once the project's done, we'll close the loan. And we have 3 years from the close of the loan to start making debt service payments. So as we go along, we continue to accrue increment tax dollars to pay that debt service.
Yes, through the urban renewal agency.
Yes. Yes.
Jenny, would you like to speak just a little bit on the grant funding that we have in the project, why we chose certain areas and not certain other areas because of the grants that we had for your specific project?
Yeah, so in 2020, we applied for 2 Oregon Parks and Recreation grants to fund the Riverwalk project specifically. Those grants account for a little over half of the construction costs of the Riverwalk project. And I think Gloria summed up all the other funding sources pretty well.
I just wanted to let people also know that's why we actually chose to do the parts of the park we did in the state, which was excluded because it was expensive and we want to live within our budget. And that's all I'm gonna say about the stage, because I got in trouble last time we talked about stage on your show. All right, okay, so we have a discussion item of the URA 008 authorizing IGA for reimbursement in materials of services, and we have that here if you need to look it over. And
So this is just exactly what
reimbursement.
Gloria was just talking about. Jenny was just talking about it to authorize this, the city as the municipal corporation and the urban renewal agency as its entity to work together to reimburse expenses and to actually the city can reimburse. We can be the fiscal agent, will capping and things of that nature. So
And they're very specific. Anybody watching, and Ms. Brehan, I want you to hear this too, that these urban renewal dollars are really specific to the projects. They cannot go outside of that scope of work. That's in the descriptive urban renewal plan. And so I just want to make that very clear. So. And then, do we need to vote on this one to pass it? Okay, so any discussion on resolution number UR 008? I don't know how new this is, it's 008, you guys.
Point out, there's also an item on your regular session agenda that is the city's version of this. So it's an IGA between the city and the city's urban renewal agency. So you'll adopt the same thing tonight, which your hat's on as the city council.
Okay.
So you'll see it twice.
My problem was, this is, and I see it, everything that's being done, all the work down here.
Yeah.
All the big projects. All funded, and then every agency that is the city, raising their fees. We've got all the fees going up, system development charges to help them down here. So all those fees that are increased are taxing everybody that comes in and try to do something else in the city. And so their time and is mostly down there, all that. And just as a private person trying to build in this town, you see the fees going up and we're paying the price for this down here. That's their deal. So
Those dollars aren't going for this down here. The URA, the urban renewal, the increments of the tax increase are going for that. Just so you know, the only thing that would be going would be the parks system development charges that you pay a portion of. And maybe, I don't know if any of that meets street SDCs down here, a little bit of it does.
Yeah, all but storm or.
So only system development charges, none of that other planning stuff or the water rates or anything like that go towards this. Just the system development charges that you pay,
Fees are
and only
going
a portion of it.
all the fees are going up.
I get it, I heard it.
It's,
Yeah.
you know, it's, I'm
Yeah.
in disagreement.
No, well, I'm just trying to explain to the best of my ability what I know about how it works, that it can't, a little bit of the system development charges can go into that fund and then be used down here, very little, and that's not the water rates that we were talking about earlier, or planning.
So maybe just a brief overview of system development charges. Those are generally based on the master plans of the city. So each of the parks, streets, water, sewer, storm, those master plans are developed. And though that it has a needs analysis done when those are done. And then there's an SDC study done to match those master plans. And that's how those SDC fees get increased, is based on the projects and the master plans in the long scheme of things.
And then those projects are city benefits citywide as far as sewer systems and
Right.
reservoir.
Well, they're what they
And
say.
they're based on projected growth.
Okay, so we have a resolution. Would somebody like to make a motion? Or UR 008?
We have to separate them.
Yeah.
A motion to approve UR 008 authorizing IGA for reimbursement of materials and services.
Okay, motion's been made, seconded to approve resolution UR 008. Council President Silton?
Aye.
Councilor Sunbeam? Aye. Councilor Hubbard?
Aye.
No, and I as well. Okay, now UR 009. A resolution of the city, St. Helens Urban Renewal Agency adopting the budget for the 2024-2025 fiscal year, making appropriations, declaring the tax increment and collecting minimum amount of division of tax. So it looks like it's pretty self-explanatory. Looks like we have a capital outlay of $3 million, contingency of 650. That will be $3,650,000
No changes since the approval of the budget
from
committee.
the budget committee.
Can you remind me what the changes were at the budget committee, or just brief overview?
There was no changes between the proposed to the approved to the adopt to yours, what's before you.
So I would entertain a motion on that.
Motion to approve UR 009 adopting fiscal year 24-25 budget.
Okay.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded to approve resolution UR 009. Council President Chilton.
Aye.
Councilor Sunday.
Aye.
Councilor Hubbard.
Aye.
And I'm an aye as well. Okay, administrator report. Jenny, is that you? Or John?
Agency, we actually just approved it as a council titles, it should be agency, that's all those, but
Oh.
I think it. Sure heard that. It's automatic.
Not supposed to say administrator report. So.
No, it's not the council, you're acting as your agency.
Yeah, and I thought I was not the chair of this, by the way. I feel.
I'm the chair.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Do you want to?
I was late, so sorry about that. It would be a little funny in a minute. I think I'm signing it though, right? Yeah, I haven't, I don't worry, I got the paperwork part of it.
It's confusing, but
It's said here in just a minute.
So, do you need to report something, John? Or anybody?
reports in your packet, but
Pretty self-explanatory. It's
it's
very,
very
very.
simple. We're finally, after years of, talking about Armstrong leaving and things of that nature and taking all that money out of the taxable value out of the district, it's kind of recovered, moved on. We're starting to see some new investment and we really took the Cascades leaving to heart and worked some financial modeling to make sure that our growth projections, even in the lowest growth scenario, are still going to cover our debt. Be ultra conservative with that and
I recall we did change the next meeting to be annually, just because we're anticipating growth and hopefully having more to discuss this time of the year, if I'm still here.
Yes.
Okay, we're adjourned.